and thank you for joining me for another session of Converse with Coco, brought to you by the Yellow Rocket Boys Network. So, I wanted to talk about humility, which is a word that I did not understand at all just a few years ago. I believe that I thought it was the same as humiliation, and I think that's a common mistake to make. But I've since learned that it is not at all the same word as humiliation. And I think that humiliation is actually one of the opposites of humility. But something I've been thinking a lot about lately is that another opposite of humility is jealousy. So to me, to be humble means to be grateful when I achieve things and when I'm successful, but also to almost be surprised. And it's not about not knowing my worth. It's not about not thinking I deserve good things. But to me, humility is about knowing that nothing good that happens to me came from me alone. So I think that my viewpoint has changed on this a whole lot since I have learned about my higher power and spiritual principles and goodwill. Because when goodwill is the base of all of my decisions and actions, I don't have negativity looming over me, and I don't think every time that something good happens to me that I didn't deserve it. But to be humble to me means to be grateful, to the sense, to the point of being almost being surprised when good things happen. I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone. It's kind of hard to describe, but I don't believe at all that it means to think less of myself, maybe just to think of myself less and to know that I'm not the source of the good that happens in my life. I do play a part in it. I would not be where I am today if I had not decided to participate in my own recovery and wellness journey. So I do want to give myself some credit, but I don't want to give myself all the credit because that is not where it's due. I firmly believe that my higher power saved me many, many times from myself and from a lot of bad things, and that my higher power saves me every day from bad decisions, from allowing my disease to convince me to act out, even if it's in small ways today. One bad decision can lead me back into active addiction, can lead me into onto a road that I do not want to be on. It can ruin everything that my higher power has given me and everything that I've earned in my life. So I do have to be careful. I have to make sure that I stay humble and that when I achieve things or when I find out that people like me or that I'm not a bad person, that humility comes in and it gives me gratitude and acceptance because it was very hard for me to accept when good things happened to me and when people said good things about me and to me. For a very long time, that was hard for me to accept because I did not believe that I was worthy of anything good. So, humility allows me to accept that and to give credit where it's due, not just to my higher power, but also to other people. People have helped me so much in many ways, some of them intentionally and some of them unintentionally. And even if someone has shown me something that I don't want to do or someone that I don't want to be, that has still helped me. The reason that I think that jealousy is one of the opposites of humility is because so many times in my life lately, things have been happening to people around me, people at work, people in my family, people in my organization that has helped get me and keep me clean. And I've started to notice that when these good things happen to these other people, I don't feel an ounce of jealousy. Instead, I'm so happy for them. Even if it was something that I wanted for myself or something that I think I deserve. When something good happens to someone else, I have been able to be happy for them and celebrate that. And it's from anything as big as a promotion to something as small as winning a prize. So we went to an event today that there were a lot of prizes, anywhere from the bingo games that we played all the way to some drawings that they did at the end of the event. And my niece and my daughter were, of course, just being children. Nothing wrong with this at all, but they were not happy when they didn't win the bingo rounds to get the gift certificates that they were giving out. And I reminded them that it's good to celebrate other people. Then, when we got to the big prizes that were being given away, like an electric scooter and a projector with a screen, and also a staycation that was really cool. My daughter had already taken that small example from the bingo game and said, I am so happy for that these people won these prizes. And that touches my heart because it really makes a difference what I do and say. And being an example is the absolute best thing that I believe I can do for my kids. I can tell them stuff all day, but if I don't follow that up with my actions, they're not going to listen and they're not going to believe in what I'm saying, because if I don't even practice it, why should they? And I don't think that that just applies to my kids. I think that I can be a good example to anyone by doing the things that I believe are right. So there was someone in my life recently that I felt should make some changes. And my higher power showed me in the harshest way that I don't have control over anyone else's life. I barely have control over my own. I don't have control over what happens to me, but the one thing that I can control is my attitude and my actions. So that's two things, but sometimes it's one because I don't feel that I can control my attitude all the time. There's always room for improvement. So it's good to know what I need to work on. But I learned that no matter what I did, I could not control this person. And no matter what I said, I couldn't guilt them into acting the right way. That never worked with myself and my parents growing up. That didn't change my behavior. And I couldn't really do anything to help them change except be an example of what I felt was right. And believe it or not, when that person ended up changing, which was to me their higher powers will and their higher powers timing, I was proud of myself and humble about the fact that I had finally given up the fight of trying to control that person's actions. And then that person was able to be proud of themselves because they saw their part in it. And I believe they were able to get some humility as well and see that good things don't happen just because they make the right decision or a good decision. Sometimes I can make the right decision and still something bad will happen. And that's okay, because life is not all about feeling good or doing good or looking good to me. What life is about for me, just for this moment, is doing the next right thing. Because even if bad happens to me, eventually the scales will tip and good will come back around. So I don't believe in coincidences, but I do believe in karma. I believe in spiritual karma. So humility is something that I'm so grateful that I have learned more about and that I have been given. I think that's a gift that I've been given. And I'm so grateful that I can celebrate other people's wins and successes and not feel jealous. The absence of jealousy on my heart and in my life has made a huge impact on me in a very positive way. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Comment below on what you'd like to hear me talk about next, and I will see you on the next session of Converse with Coco.